Good afternoon. I am Marina Lobach, the Scientific Director of the MAGUS project. The art of microscopy is the harmony between precision optics and perfectly adjusted light. Setting up Köhler illumination correctly will allow each objective to achieve its maximum resolution, eliminate glare and images of dust on the illuminator or specimen, remove edge darkening, and ensure even lighting. In this video, we'll walk through the setup process step by step using the MAGUS Bio 270T direct biological microscope as an example. First, let's position the Abbé condenser correctly. To do this, follow these steps. Open the field diaphragm of the collector and the aperture diaphragm of the condenser. Using the condenser bracket knob, raise the condenser to its highest position, align the light path, and use the appropriate objective. Set the lamp to a comfortable brightness. Focus to achieve a sharp image of the specimen. Close the field and aperture diaphragms so that only the central part of the field of view is illuminated. Using the condenser centering adjustment screws, position the image in the center of the field of view. Carefully move the condenser up and down to find a position where the edges of the field diaphragm's polygon are in sharp focus and the diffracted blue light along the edge of the polygon is directed outside the diaphragm, not into the field of view. Next, open the field diaphragm to just slightly less than the field of view. And finally, center the condenser. Now, to ensure the entire field of view is illuminated, open the field diaphragm a bit more, just enough so that its edges extend beyond the field of view. You should not open the diaphragm too much. The first stage of Köhler tuning is completed. The condenser is positioned correctly in terms of height and is centered on the optical axis. In the second stage, we'll achieve the required contrast of the specimen using the condenser aperture diaphragm. Remove the eyepiece from the tube of the viewing head. Looking into the tube without the eyepiece, observe the exit pupil of the objective and open the condenser aperture diaphragm to 2/3 of the exit pupil of the objective. This value will be slightly less than the aperture of the objective. The second method is to use the markings on the condenser which indicate the magnification or aperture of the objective and to open the diaphragm according to the marking of the working objective. When changing the objective, adjust the opening of the field and aperture diaphragms, but do not change the height position of the condenser. Changing the size of the field diaphragm only alters the size of the illuminated field of view. For each objective, open the field diaphragm just enough so that the image of the diaphragm is positioned near the edge of the microscope's field of view, but remains outside it. The size of the field of view is determined by the magnification of the objective. The higher the magnification of the objective, the smaller the field of view. Therefore, when switching to objectives with higher magnification, the field diaphragm should be closed down. When switching to objectives with lower magnification, the field diaphragm should be opened up. The size of the aperture diaphragm affects the contrast of the image. Do not adjust the image brightness by opening the aperture diaphragm, as this will result in a loss of contrast. The image brightness is adjusted only by the brightness of the objective lamp. With higher magnification, the aperture is larger. Therefore, the condenser diaphragm is opened wider. The final opening of the aperture diaphragm also depends on the specimen. By adjusting the aperture diaphragm, we balance between contrast and resolution, thereby optimizing the observation conditions depending on the specimen and the research objective. Having Köhler illumination is one of the hallmarks of a professional microscope. Take the time to set up the lighting properly, as image detail, comfort during long work sessions, and the quality of your photographs all depend on it. Wishing you success in your work, colleagues.